Quick take on the Warriors versus Blazers. Do you think the Blazers have a shot at this? With or without Curry?
Yes, they definitely. Without Curry, yes, they do. Because, yes, they're still an effective team, but they look ordinary. They look very ordinary because despite the shooting prowess of Klay Thompson and even at times Draymond Green, Klay Thompson he shoots with he's a very spectacular shooter, but he doesn't have the proficiency and efficiency of Stephen Curry. His shooting, I find, it tends to come, like, he's not going to hit 3 big threes in a row. Like, he maybe will hit a couple threes in the first quarter, then maybe 2-3 in the second quarter, but it's not like bang, bang. Like, Curry can just have an onslaught of threes. With I noticed with Thompson, it's more spread out throughout the game. It's not going to happen, and it doesn't overwhelm you.
Yeah, I think the thing about the Warriors is that, like, you'll be right there with them, and suddenly you're down by 16, wondering what happened, and like.
But that's typically when Curry's there.
Exactly.
What I've noticed, I think Game 1, what happened last Sunday in Game 1 was that the Blazers just kind of got caught off guard. I don't really think it's because we haven't seen Game 1 again in this series. Like, Game 2 and 3 were a lot more close, as we saw.
Yeah.
They were a lot closer games. And Game 2, Portland just folded. They were up 11 going into the final quarter. We'll check that in corrections and clarifications, but I believe they were up 94-83 going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
But what I typically find is that with Stephen Curry, it's just, 1 minute you're down by 3-4, next minute you're down 12.
Yeah.
And that happens with regularity and consistency. But with Klay Thompson, I notice a lot of times he likes to defer, whether it's to Sean Livingston, whether it's to Draymond Green, whether it's to Maurice Spates.
They're still a good team.
They're a good team, but they look more like they're beatable.
They're
exactly.
more beatable.
They're more beatable.
And of course.
And I don't think this team could beat Cleveland without Curry. I don't see it happening.
I don't think so too, but do I think they're going to beat Portland? Come on.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, but obviously, a lot of people think it's going to take what Damian Lillard did in Game 3 with 40 points to beat them.
And it wasn't just Damian Lillard with 40. Who had 20?
Yeah, he had 23.
McCollum had 20. It was like it took.
Al-Farouq Aminu had a very big game.
It took Herculean efforts from a lot of players.
Al-Farouq Aminu can do that. He just doesn't get the chance to a lot because you have CJ McCollum.
He may be the worst third best player on a team in the league.
Yeah,
he may be the worst.
He should be doing that.
No, he may be the worst third best player on a team in the league.
Why do you say that?
It's just that,
I don't think so.
Man,
I just think McCollum and Lillard need the ball a lot.
I get it, but there's just it's like you see it and you're like, this guy can really be a good two-way player. And just if you look at his averages, you'd be like, really? That's all you can do? Really?
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say?
I kind of see what you mean. But he's vital, especially on defense. This guy was blocking Draymond Green. This guy was blocking Andre Iguodala, and he's length too. He has Durant length. I think his arms may even be a little long. His arms are long.
You expect, just like Al-Farouq throughout his whole career, you expected a little more. He has such a thing is his offensive game.
He's not polished.
It's not there. It took a Herculean. Are you expecting 20 points from Al-Farouq Aminu?
Oh no, I could definitely see it again.
Oh, get out of here!
I definitely could.
On a consistent basis.
No, I definitely could see it happening again.
On a consistent. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you a question.
In this series, he's averaging 17.3 points per game and nearly 7. He's averaging nearly 7 assists or 7 rebounds. Sorry, and he's doing things in this series alone that we don't typically see.
What was his last point total in Game 2? Not Game 3, Game 2. What was his last point total?
14.
What was his last point total in Game 1?
15.
Okay, now are you expecting 14, 13, and 23 going forward from Al-Farouq Aminu?
Yes, I can definitely see the 14 and 15. 23 might be but he's averaging 17 in the series. He's averaging almost 20 a game. In this series, if there was ever a time for him to step up, it's this series.
I can see 14.
This is not Francis Azili we're talking about. We're talking about Al-Farouq Aminu.
All right. I understand 14.
We're not talking about
I can even see
here.
15. I'm just, you know what? Let me.
Everyone has their aberration game. We know that. But
I understand. Terrence Ross had 15 the other day. I was like, what's going on? Do you expect 23 from Al-Farouq Aminu? on a consistent
on a
basis.
consistent basis. But I'm saying if he can get in that 15 to 18 ballpark enough, that could be the difference. With already coupled with McCollum and Lillard getting their 20 to 25 at least.
I'm just saying, to ask the Blazers to beat the Warriors takes Herculean efforts from 3 different guys and great efforts from everyone else to beat a team without Stephen Curry, who, mind you, might be coming back in this series.
That's the key. He might, but he most likely won't.
Assuming he doesn't come in, I do not see it. No. Even with Curry out, I don't see it. And I know we're running long and we got...
Because really, Portland should be up 2-1 in this. I feel like game 2, they beat themselves. They did. They beat themselves. They should be up 2-1 right now, going into Portland tonight to go up 3-1, but they're hopefully just hoping to tie.
Yeah.
So they still got... I mean, their work is cut out for them.
I just don't see it, man. And
it's possible. Trust me. This team all year has been counted out. With the departure of Aldridge, there were you talk about low expectations. Yeah. They had no expectations. Yeah. No expectations. And they were pretty mediocre going into the All-Star break.
4/5 of their starting lineup was gone.
Exactly. Wesley Matthews, LaMarcus Aldridge,
Lopez,
Batum, all of those guys were shipped off. But we've seen that with the leadership of Damian Lillard, he's galvanized him and McCollum, and the resurgence and emergence of CJ McCollum. Those 2 things have galvanized this team.
Well, not really resurgence. I mean...
No, I'm saying resurgence in that, he had a great college career, but he's just finding himself in the NBA. But he's really, it's really galvanized this team, and I really feel that even with the additions of Al-Farouq Aminu, guys who are realizing what they can do at the NBA level, it's really helping to propel this team forward, which is how they beat Clippers in 6 games, how they came back from being down 2-0 to win 4 in a row, which nobody could have. That was unforeseen. No one saw that before that series started. Nobody.
There's some caveats to it, but see, it was special, but there were some caveats.
I mean, obviously, Chris Paul. You're talking Chris Paul went out. Blake Griffin was out for the rest of the year. But even still, I would have thought that the Clippers could have closed that series out.
I would have thought so too, but still, those are 2... you saw what Chris Paul was doing.
Yeah, those are 2. He was killing them on his own.
Yeah, so...
But, I mean...
I don't know. I'm just...
And on a side note, DeAndre Jordan wanted his moment to lead the team, and we saw what happened with that. He wanted his little 2 games to see what he could do. Yeah.
And it didn't really
work. Shout out to Austin Rivers. This guy had a Spartan game. This guy had his Spartacus. He had his warrior game that last game. But anyway, but back to the series. I mean, Portland could do it.
Yeah, okay. You're changing my mind a little. But not enough for me to just definitively say...
As long as I'm even making you think about it, I feel I've done something.
Yeah, you've done something in this world today. With that being said, no way.